Hey Reddit, I'm shaking as I write this because I've uncovered something about my lifelong fear of water that's turned my world upside down. I've always been terrified of water, pools, oceans, even showers, but never knew why. Recently, after a near-death experience where I flatlined, I started remembering drowning as a toddler, and I'm getting flashes of what feels like a past life. It's got me questioning everything, maybe even reincarnation. Has anyone else had memories like this? Here's what happened. I'm 28, and my fear of water has been intense since I was a kid. I'd panic near any body of water, screaming if my parents tried to take me swimming. I'd have nightmares of sinking under dark waves, unable to breathe, my hands clawing at nothing. No one in my family could explain it. They said I'd never had any accidents with water. Therapy helped me manage the phobia, but the cause was a mystery. I just assumed I was irrational. A few months ago, I was in a bad car accident. I don't remember much, but the paramedics said my heart stopped for about a minute before they brought me back. While I was out, I had this experience. I wasn't floating above my body or anything like that, but I was underwater, choking, my lungs burning. I saw myself as a toddler, maybe 2 years old, in a murky pool, sinking deeper as the light above faded. I felt the panic, the cold, the final moment when everything went black. But it wasn't just that. I also saw flashes of another life, like I was someone else, older, drowning in a river, wearing clothes from another era, maybe centuries ago. It was so vivid, like I lived it. When I woke up in the hospital, I was a mess. The doctors said I was lucky to be alive, but I couldn't stop thinking about those visions. After I got home, the memories started coming back stronger. I'd be doing normal stuff, washing dishes, taking a shower, and suddenly I'd remember being that toddler in the pool, my tiny body thrashing, no one there to save me. The details were too clear, the tiles around the pool, the smell of chlorine, the sound of water rushing in my ears. I started having dreams of that other life too, a man, maybe in his 30s, swept away in a muddy river, his family screaming from the bank. I don't know who he was, but his fear felt like mine. I asked my parents if anything happened to me as a kid. They got weirdly quiet and finally admitted that when I was 2, I wandered off at a family friend's house and fell into their pool. They pulled me out just in time, but I stopped breathing for a moment before they revived me. They never told me because they didn't want me to grow up traumatized. They swore it was a quick incident, but the memory I have feels like I was under longer, like I actually died. Since the accident, my fear of water is worse. I can't even look at a glass of water without feeling like I'm suffocating. But it's not just the toddler memory, it's the other life, the river drowning. I've been reading about reincarnation, and some stories sound like mine. Kids remembering past lives, near-death experiences unlocking old memories. I'm a skeptic, but how else do I explain knowing things I shouldn't? I've never been into history, but I can describe the clothes, the riverbank, the wooden bridge in my dreams like I was there. I'm thinking about seeing a hypnotist to dig into these memories, but I'm scared. What if I find out I did die as a toddler, or that I've lived before?